Welcome, everyone, and welcome to the Georgia Museum of Art Mindfulness Meditation Morning, or something like that. That has been meeting for about 5 years now, alternating Fridays, and bringing both art and meditation into people's lives. My name's Gale, and I'm going to be leading the meditation this morning. And the meditation is going to be centered on compassion or karuna. And I'll come back to that in a moment, but I do also want to situate myself with the artwork behind me. The art behind me is by the artist from Atlanta, Kevin Cole, and the whole exhibition here, and there's a number of beautiful pieces of work all around me, are called soul ties.
Alexa is not supported on this device. You can use the Alexa app.
Well, welcome to the world of technology. Kevin Cole was born in Arkansas, lives in Atlanta now, and the painting behind me is called Spiritual Celebrations with Miles, Dizzy, and Coltrane. Created in 1992, this work of art makes reference to the rich history and improvisational nature of jazz and blues music. In addition to the exhibition, When My Scars Are My Testimony is on display at the museum that includes elegant amalgamations of twisted ties formed with thin strips of etched aluminum. This exhibit was suggested as a place to do meditation this morning, and it has a special meaning, which is something I also want to dedicate the meditation to. And I want to first read a quote from Kevin Cole that he made or wrote or said in 1990. He said, "When I turned 18 years old, my grandfather stressed the importance of voting by taking me to a tree where he was told that African Americans were lynched. They were lynched by their neckties on their way to vote. This experience left a profound impression on my mind, in my mind." And these are challenging times in many ways. And I want to dedicate this morning's practice to George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, 3 individuals who got caught up in institutional racism and violence in our country. And this is a time of how do we find compassion? We always need compassion, but I think we need it even more. In the background, I'm going to be playing some music. Miles Coltrane, John Coltrane, and others, Kind of Blue. So I'm hoping this technology works. In talking about compassion, I want to distinguish it from empathy, because this is a time that we feel the energy, the empathy of the pain, the suffering in our own lives and the people around us. This is a time of a lot of divisiveness, whether to wear a mask or not. How do we protect each other and honor and show appreciation for the safety, well-being of others? Empathy is the way that we feel how others are. And it's easy to get overwhelmed, overburdened with empathy. Compassion, from the Buddhist tradition, also called karuna, is a different way to engage in the pain and suffering of others. It invites us to find ways to relieve, to heal, to help ease the suffering of others and ourselves. Compassion entails both taking care of ourselves, and when we take care of ourselves, we also are better able to take care of others around us. In leading this meditation, I want to begin with our embodiments of our physical, our emotional, our discursive thoughts, energetic, spiritual. Because we often attend to the physical, how the body feels, where we hold tension, perhaps pain. But who we are, our beings, are much more than that. We have our energetic self, our emotions. And in these times, it's easy to take in all the energy, the stressors, the emotional discomforts from around us, and feel that, exhaust ourselves. And we need to replenish, find healing, find comfort. So I invite you first to become aware of where you're sitting, or perhaps lying down, wherever you may be. Awareness on your own body. Noticing your own pattern of breathing.
How the chest moves. How our lung expands and contracts. And with that expansion and contraction, the belly moves. The shoulders subtly rise and fall. Am I disconnected?
Mm-hmm. Ask people if they can hear you.
Can people hear me?
I see thumbs up.
Thumbs up, good. We had a message here that I was disconnected. So if there was silence, my appreciation to Zoom for bringing us that silence. Again, attending to our own bodies. And our breath is one of the powerful pathways to both become aware and to relax. And even to bring healing to different parts of the body. To invite, visualize breath moving into your shoulders, your hips, your knees, wherever you need to bring comfort, relaxation. Peace. As you become aware of your body, notice your spine. Are you erect? Do you feel balanced? If you need to make any accommodations, mindfully do that. Finding the most comfortable position for your body. Noticing the emotions of your body. And I suspect for many of us, there's a symphony of emotions we feel every day. From disconnections of social, physical relationships. From the news about divisiveness. The news of over 100,000 people having died. Both excites our emotions, helps us feel the pain, the suffering, the loss. But it's important to find a cycle, a returning of compassion, and not just extend it outward. Empathy fatigue can be debilitating. And ways of healing is through opening your heart. The heart touches upon all our embodiments. There's the physical heart, beating, moving the blood through our veins and arteries. There's the heart space of emotions, love, compassion, and how we can open up that heart space to invite that loving kindness, compassion, to feel in our own bodies like a nectar expanding in our chest, filling our shoulders and belly, going up, going down. Saturating our being in love, compassion. There's the emotional aspects of appreciation. How at times when we may feel discouraged, anger, deep sadness. We can honor these emotions,
but not get overwhelmed with them. How we can embrace the many features and aspects of our being in a way that both honors and sustains us. The difference of compassion is that we're feeling with the pain, suffering of others in an effort to resolve that pain and suffering. So as I invited you to continue the compassion filling your own body, having it touch upon your thoughts. So whatever thoughts may arise, to be compassionate for these thoughts. Even mistakes, even critiques or judgments. Acknowledging, I have this thought, but this is not necessarily who I am. And compassion entails, what do I do with these thoughts, these emotions? Finding peace to attend to yourself and your needs, and finding ways to attend to the world that we all participate with. And we have our energetic body. At times it may be very active, hypervigilant, and other times perhaps tired, diminished. And bringing compassion to that energetic body. Compassion for how much effort we put into things. Sometimes the discursive story that we must succeed and do more. These are times we need to take care. Action as needed and rest when needed. And having times of meditation are ways that we can engage in slowing down the body, the energetic frequency of the body, our thoughts, our emotions. and opening up our spiritual selves, whatever that may mean to each person. Connection to Earth, the universe, God or gods, higher powers. How do we invite that experience of love, grace, joy that is present in every moment? And to be responsive to the many aspects of ourselves and the world around us. I want to invite people to imagine yourself floating above your body, and to imagine or visualize as you rise up towards the ceiling of wherever you are, to see your body sitting or reclined, noticing the space, the room around you, as you rise even higher, to see the building, the house, for me, the museum, wherever you are, to see the buildings, the roads, trees, gardens, people walking or driving, perhaps bodies of water. As you rise even higher, to see the outline of a city or of a community, wherever you may be. The tapestry of nature, structures, people, perhaps birds in the air. Rising even higher to see the outline, beginning to see the landscapes, the texture of earth, the hills or mountains, the waters, the canals, the colors, kaleidoscope of colors. Rise even higher to begin to see the shoreline of North America, how the states have no boundaries between them, but are simply part of the American continent. And rise even higher to see how this continent is connected to other parts, other continents, other land masses, and the water and the sky. As you rise even higher to begin to see the curvature of the earth and to see the patterns of connection of the planet, the waters, the clouds, the vegetation, part of a giant ecology, connected, participating together in creating a balance for our planet. Gently coming back through the sky, returning back to your body. As you move closer towards the city and community in which you live, the building you're residing in, returning into your own body, sitting reclined wherever you are. And as you enter your body, noticing the illusionary boundaries of our skin. Because as we go even deeper, smaller, inside our bodies, how we're made up of many cells, bacterium, and how these cells organize into features of the body, our organs, skeletal structure, blood, and how all the parts of this system are connected. How what we eat becomes part of who we are. The air we breathe. And in these times when we often hear of social distancing, appreciating the connection of our own systems of the body and the world. How in many ways we are always connected. How we manage with compassion, love, joy, to seek to find balance within ourselves and in our actions with others. And it can be useful to find a focus. Whether it's an energetic focus, a discursive thought, even music. Ways to remember compassion of your heart for you, compassion for others in the world, compassion to guide us as we engage in all manifestations of how we engage when we're by ourselves, when we're with another, when we write letters, when we vote, when we Zoom and talk, or call, TikTok, whatever we may do. How to engage from a place of compassion, karuna, gratitude for what we do have, appreciation of the sun and the clouds, for they all exist in everything of who we are and what we touch. Holding up a piece of paper. As Thich Nhat Hanh would say, do we see the cloud that is in this paper? As we know, paper often comes from trees, harvested, but the trees are grown in the earth, sustained with the rains, the waters, the nutrients of the ground, the air around it, and in the processing of a tree to create and produce paper. That history is still there. Of the sun, the clouds and rain, the earth, the foods that we eat have a history. An apple is grown on a tree that came from a seed, supported in the earth, nutrients, moisture, the efforts of humans sometimes, to find a harmony of ecology. Finding an attunement of our own system of the heart, head, spirit, to find an integrity of how we feel, how we act. And the focus is to help remember breathing, expanding, opening the heart, inviting the connection of who we are to the history of who we are, our parents, our grandparents, culture, to our children, and how sustainability arises historically towards the future. And finding ways to live a life with compassion. In the Tibetan tradition, they have something called the prayer wheel. It's a way to focus one's awareness, attention on an act to ease the suffering of the world around us. Inside the tin of this, or the copper head, are scrolls of paper with prayers written on them. Whatever prayer, affirmation one cares to say, to recite, to repeat. In this particular prayer wheel is Om Mani Padma Hum, which one I could say silently in my head as a way of extending compassion to me and to the world around me. But whatever faith or tradition one follows, finding a benediction of gratitude, hope, love, to engage in our physical body, to ease our discomforts, to open our hearts, to acknowledge the emotions, and to let the emotions be free to enable and support us. To take down the walls of fear, to address the emotions of anger, to move them into compassion and action, to attend to our energetic body, wake up our thoughts and mind, to have discernment to see the world, and to, with consideration of critical mind, respond as needed in the world. To open up our spiritual path. Again, this may mean many different things. How to find that grace, the liminal, in us and in our relationships. I invite you to find your own paths, your own ways of maintaining focus, to remember and reclaim your heart, compassion, and to move in a space of compassion. To remember to receive the love from others and to extend love for others. To find that rhythm, like the music still playing, the Miles Davis and others, how they coordinate the sounds, find attunement with one another, improvising in the moment, and creating something special and beautiful. I'm going to be quiet for about 2 or 3 minutes and invite each of you to find your own stillness, a place of solitude, of appreciation, compassion. My appreciation and gratitude to each of you for being here today, and for those who may watch another time. May you be well. May you be strong. May you be compassionate.